Good afternoon. Hope the YouTube viewers can hear me. Give me a yes if you can hear me and if you see my screen, just to make sure all is working well. There is a slight 30-second delay, I think. So as soon as I see a yes, I'll go ahead. Okay, anybody on YouTube there from our side? Just okay, good. I can see that there are some hearts going, but I don't see a yes as yet. Just type a yes in the chat for me, that will work. Okay, this is a pretty long delay. Okay, the yeses are coming in. Thank you. I think we have more than 30 seconds delay there. Thank you. Thank you. I can see it now. Yes, that's a delay probably. I'm a little too early. Okay, guys, hope all of you are doing well. So since I promised you guys this morning that I'll tell you about the special offers I'm going to give you, let's go ahead, right? I'm going to try to make this as short as possible. First thing first, if you want to join our group, and I think all of you know how to join the group, it's a one-time payment. You get access to all the courses we do. You get access to all the live sessions. You get access to all the training. You get access to one-on-one with me. You get access to the entire group. The trading room works nonstop. At least five actual sessions a day where people are there gathering, trading together, and there could be more. Basically, there's a one-time payment for life. You don't have to pay anything else, and this is the only group I'm pretty much sure about this. This is the only group where you get that amount of live trading sessions, right? And where any single trader in the group has rights to open the group and start trading with the other traders. In most of the other places that I know, you don't have access to that, right? You're actually denied. If you're a full-time member, even you don't get to go in and start trading with other traders like that, right? You have to wait for one of the other guys' hosts to come in and prepare that for you because they're scared of whatever. I don't know. We actually allow our traders to share their screen. We encourage them to do that because these are traders who are already completed the course and they're practicing and they're learning, and some of them are very good, successful traders already. So I encourage them to do that because that's the fastest way of learning. Sharing your screen, showing your setups, show your trades, show why you take the trades, explain what your risk management is going to be, explain how you're going to manage the trade. Those are the fastest way you can learn. And this is probably one of the only groups that allow you to do that. I would challenge you to find another group that does that. If there is, there might be, because people who finish my group might set up groups that will similar to mine. I know a lot of traders that do it, but I don't think they still have the confidence to do that. But if you do find out, send me a message, let me know if there's other groups out there. What you also get when you join us is that if you have a drawdown in your account, you get to call me, call any of the senior traders, and we work with you one-on-one to make sure that you're actually getting back online. So those are things that you can get here, and you can send me, you can get any amount of one-on-one with me if you need it. As long as you really need it, we're here. But I do so much sessions a day, and you get all your questions answered during these sessions that when I sometimes beg my traders to, hey, do you guys have questions? Come on. And there are no questions because everything is pretty clear, right? Now, if you cannot afford the cost of the course, you can still get access to the live sessions we do, which means you can start paying for the course in installments. Remember, this is not subscription. You're not subscribing to anything. This is not subscription. Let me just make that clear. Which means if you ever made a payment and you take a break and you decide to come back, the money you paid for the installment will continue from where you stop off. So there are traders who had made 2-3 payments, and then for whatever reason they stop. I don't ask people why they stop. And then they came back a couple months after and they said, okay, can I continue? And I make sure. And then I send them the balance they have, and they're like, oh, that counts. I say, yes, it counts because it's installment. It's not subscription, which means your money is still there. Anytime you decide to continue, it will count, but it's non-refundable, which means you can continue until you pay for the course. You're going to have lifetime access. And then that's it. That's all, right? It's just one-time payment. So if you pay it in installment, normally what we do is we'll charge $100 a month until you reach the sum. And we have done this promotion before, but we're doing it in a little better way now, is that if you pay now, which means if you pay any time in December, I don't mean now, I'm not pressuring anybody to pay. If you pay any time in December, you will get access to all of December, remaining December, January, and February. Why we're giving you 2.5 months? Because we believe that, December is 1 week off. January, you're going to lose about a week in trading. We start from the 3rd, I think, to trade. But we also want to give you the time to make the decision to continue. We want you to see that this is actually helping you in your trading. The whole purpose of this is to help you in your trading. And then you continue to pay for the course, right? There is going to be another special offer. I'm in negotiation with the company right now that might be useful to you guys. Once I make an agreement with them, if you stay on for the rest of the week, you might get even a more special promotion than that, right? So stay put. I'll keep your interest going. If it works, it's more about, I think you guys might have heard these companies that give out accounts is more on that line, but so I think all of you will need one of that. It doesn't matter how much money you have. There, more money to trade is always a good idea, as long as you can trade successful. So we will be setting up within our group like a subgroup of those people who have trading accounts from prop firm, because they will need specific money management rules that we can create for that. Because if you're trading euro account, your money management rules is pretty much well calculated already. But if you're trading for a prop firm, you will need some kind of specific money management rule, because they have limitations to how much you can lose per day, how much you can lose in total, and all those stuff that you need to control. And you will need very serious control over that. So that would be one of the ways we can help you as well. Stay on until the week, invite your friends, bring people over, and let's trade. So let's start with the first trade we are in. That is this trade this morning that was tagged. As of now, this is still a valid trade, but I'll ask you to put it to break even. We're not trading for this piece. We're trading for it to get to the bottom here and see if it's going to break out. But at this moment, you need to put it to break even, because you have an impulse, you have a correction, have an impulse, have a correction. We have kind of a small divergence in there. At the moment, that could change. Should this drop, that will change. But you want to make sure it's gone, because if this is going to go back up to make a new high, which is possible, you would exit this trade. We wait for a flag here, and then we will buy this. You may say, well, why not take this profit? Well, that's not what we are actually trading for. That's not profit. That's just a small piece of movement. We want it to come all the way to the bottom here. That would be profitable. Because remember, your stop is not above here. Your stop is above here, right? You're not putting a stop above there, and that means you're setting yourself up for failure, right? So this trade is valid. Put it to break even, because we broke the low already, and there's a slight divergence, which means if it's going to go back up, you don't want to be the trade. If it's going to drop, it's your trade. Euro is another trade. We didn't make the call, but some traders got tagged in it. And you see the difference between the euro and the pound? So don't put it in the 15. Some traders took it here this morning and they got tagged. And remember, I said, don't put your stop here, otherwise you're going to lose, right? If you did put your stop there, you're out of that trade, because the broker is going to help you with a few pips that are remaining there. You will be taken out. The spread will take you out. Now, I said put your stop here so that you can get it break even when it comes back here. So now you should be out of that trade for break even. Absolutely. What you can do now, for my traders especially, is we can try to take this one. I don't think this is going to go very far. This might not be all the correction, but should it drop, we might end up with it coming here. I would think running flat, or maybe it's still going to drop. This could be all, because we could go with this as a running flat, and this one went up, so that is okay. It doesn't have to break the top, right? By rule, it doesn't have to break the top. So that could be a running flat dropping. So now we have a sell setup, and now I'm going to put it as an actual sell setup. You want to stay at least one spread away from the low, especially when you're in the correction itself. So again, if this trade doesn't go, which means if this trade should come and tag us here and start to go back up for a bigger flat here, don't keep your stop here. Keep your stop above this one. And we're going to manage this trade. We're not trading for this piece. We're trading for it to go down more. There's a bigger down move in these trades, right? I think it's going to come all the way to the bottom. So if we're taking this trade with an entry here and a stop here, we're trying to get it to go to the bottom. Now, if it's not going, doesn't mean you stay with it. See the one this morning? Tag, it didn't go, you get rid of it, because that is still not going. And you need to get rid of that. Now you need to be under the low, which is a 15 minutes flag on. It's a 15-minute trade. This is not a trade call. Let me make this very clear. This is setups. I show you how we trade our setup. So disclaimer, I'm not making any trade call. Don't take trades because I say take it. Take trade because you understand what you're doing. I'm trying to show you what we do in our group, right? And how we manage. So if you were even in this trade this morning, you see how we got you out for break even? Good. That's the amazing thing about it. And you don't panic. Because any of my traders who got tagged in that would not panic. They know the rules. You shouldn't panic. They know what to do, and they know how to wait and how to get out of the trade. Right? So this is not a good sell at that time. Now it's a good sell. This one, it's still a good sell. You can still stay with it. One of my traders just ready. You close the Punkat sell. Let's take a look at that one. This is what we normally will do when we start. We will go through all the trades my traders are in. So actually, if you guys are in any trade, let's treat it like the trading room, right? If any one of you in any trade, type the trade you're in, and we will look at those trades and the setup. Any one of you on YouTube as well as in my group, right? So somebody was in Punk Cat, sell, take profit. Let's see that one. Punk Cat, was it the sell? Oh, this sell. Yes, you took that sell. Good. Well done. That was a trade call sell we made. By the way, I forgot to change it because we made the sell almost at the end of the session when it made that top and started to come down. You took profit a little too early, but no problem. Wait for another flag. This is not a flag. This is a pullback. Should have waited a little more, Michael. That was a good one. Good one, though, by the way. Anybody else took the punk card from my side? Because that's a sell. And remember, I said this could drop. So good. Now, if you're in this trade, put it to break even too. This is a good one to go. Right? So just keep going. How much for the lifetime pay? You mean how much is the cost for the course, right? That which will give you lifetime complimentary lifetime access. Send me a Skype message. I'll give you all the details so you'll make a choice. For everyone, send me a Skype message. By the way, I should talk about this. It's MANGAL457. This is the only place you're ever going to get me. If anybody send you a WhatsApp message or a Telegram message or anything like that, it's not from me. People are using my ID and they're using my name and all of that out there. I know about it. One guy actually who actually is now in our installment program actually paid them. I can't give you the name of the person, but I can tell you what happened. He paid them. And then he sent me a message and he said, hey, okay, can you add me to the group now? And I was like, excuse me? And he was like, yes, I made the payment. I was like, the where? And he said, I sent it to the, the WhatsApp, the number the PayPal thing you give me. I said, well, that's not my PayPal. And then he sent me the group he paid to the messages that he was supposed to be having with me, but it's not me. It's from Telegram, and I don't have a Telegram channel. So unless it's this, and unless it's Skype, and unless you know it's me, don't make any payment. If you have to talk to me to confirm that it's me, do it. I'll have a 2-minute conversation with you before you pay, because you don't want to be scammed by anyone. And there are a lot of people using my names. There's nowhere I can try to stop that. It's not going to stop. If you close down one, they're going to open another one. Well, it means what I'm doing is great. The idea that so many people want to scam you using my name and my method is because they think what I'm doing is worth it. And that's a good sign, actually, because if it was nonsense, nobody would try to scam you with it. So the quality is good and they're trying to take advantage of you. Well, don't let that happen. I think traders are smart. You should not pay like that. You should try to be careful and make sure you confirm that it's me. So the only place you're ever going to get me to make any payment is if you send me that message that I talk to you directly, or you're messaging with me, and then you get access to the group. With that said, let's move on. So this is a good trade. You should be in this again. You see, all these are trade. Like I said, every one we mark, we're going to go through. So let's start by going through every one, because no one is, somebody's in the Swiss looking for a long on the Swiss. No, we're talking about trades you're in, not what you're looking for. So type if you're in a trade and you want me to look at it. Basically, when we come in, my traders will type all the trade they're in and we'll look at them. So let's go through all these trades again. Since nobody's typing, I'm going to go through all the dollar index, all the majors. And then we're going to look at all the ones that we have a tag for a trade on. Dollar. Nothing new, still in consolidation. You see when I showed you this line, this would be a buy setup, right? There could have been an aggressive buy. I don't know if any of my traders, I think some of my traders might have taken an aggressive buy here. If you did, you closed that trade already, but there is a buy setup here now. This is a 15-minute buy setup. So I don't think it's going to go. I think this will probably come back here, but we don't have a sell. Let this do what it's doing here, and then we'll buy it. I still think it's going to go back up, right? There's no structural change for downside as yet. But you can put the entry for a buy here should this take off. So we're going to put this as a buy, and we will see if we change that within the time. So silver came down. Remember, we said we wanted to make a running flat and go. Well, it actually came all this way. Good job. It dropped really fast. That part I didn't. I wasn't in the charts itself. We can look for a sell setup. Let's see if this becomes a flag for a sell. The question is, can this go back up and become more complex? Well, yes, it can. Here's the thing. If this thing goes back anywhere higher than this, we'll be looking for a buy setup. I think we're just making a kind of a consolidation here. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do this here and then drop. This would become the sell setup. So we'll take this off. Remember, I said this, you can put this if it's going to drop really fast through the bottom, but it's not doing that. So we'll look for a sell setup here, but the sell setup is not there as yet. right? There's nothing to sell there as yet. This might even go back a little higher. We will relook at this whole pattern, what it's doing, and then go for the sell. But as of now, it's a sell setup. It's still a sell. Can we go with a buy and an expanding flat in the middle? Now, this is where, if you're not a wave trader, you're going to be really confused. There's a possibility that we're looking at a flat here, right? The 1, 2, and we go back up for a 3, right? So within this piece, like a 1, 2, 3 here, go back there for this one, and you get a 1, 2, 3 for a flat here that will come down with an expanding flat in the middle. I don't think it's doing that for many reasons, but that might be a possibility. So for now, I will leave it like this, and let's see if we get a sell setup here. So we're still looking for a sell setup. Should I sell this piece? I think no. Can you put an entry under the low? There is a slight risk to it, but it's worth doing. You can put an entry here should this drop straight through. And it could drop. This could be a very small correction in the 5-minute, and it's dropping. So it's a sell setup. We'll put it as an active sell. Okay, well, this is going to... See the reason I put this here? Because we had these sharp waves here. And I warned you, I said you got to be careful of this. It's going to come back down and then go. So it came down. I think we have an expanding flat. It's going up there, and then it's going to drop. This is a perfect sell setup, by the way. Right? This would be a really perfect sell setup. Put an entry under the low here. Wait for it to break the top, and then it's a sell setup. This is actually a sell. You can put it right now. That's a good sell setup for us. For us, that would be a really good trade. For my traders, keep your eyes on it. As soon as it tagged there, it can drop. So we won this sell. Okay, if you have a lot of questions that are not directly to trade, you may want to wait. Somebody just typed 3 questions: whole, barn, rise. I don't know what that is. That sounds weird. So it's okay. Let's move on. So okay, guys, keep your questions. I will take, like this morning, we did some very good questions at the end. If you missed this morning session, you should watch it, and watch it way to the end, because all in between, they are very educational stuff for you. So you should not miss a single minute of it. Watch all and watch it, rewatch it again, share the video. So this one, we're expecting it to go a little more. Remember, it doesn't have to break the top. It could break the top, but it doesn't have to break the top. So this is a really good sell setup now. I actually like that one. Euro is going back up, right? So the entry is here. Should it break the top? No problem. We're going to run this. And that is why you should exit that trade. We're going to run this, and we look for the buy setup. This buy setup still is valid here. It's valid for the flag, or it's valid if it breaks the top. It doesn't matter. It's the same. The sell, sorry. The sell setup would stay here. If it's a flag and it drop, we go with it. If it goes break the top and then drop, we stay with it. The sell setup is very good at that point. Pang, well, you should still be in this trade. We are already... I wouldn't put an entry over here. That's a bad idea. So I wouldn't put a sell setup here. We're in the sell already, and we'll just let it go. Aussie. And you see why we didn't sell the Aussie, right? And why we were actually looking for a buy setup. We still don't have the buy setup, which means I still think we haven't got this one as yet. We probably got this one just now, a small running flat in there, which means this might break the top, come back here, and when it comes back here, then we look for the buy. Because if you buy here, it's going to just tag you and then come back here and then go. So better to wait for it. If I get the real setup, I'll take the trade. If there's no setup, then just let it do what it's doing. We're still looking for a buy here, but it's not valid as yet. This is not a buy. This was showing you where the top needs to be broken, and it broke the top, so we'll take it off. And this also. Same thing. We're waiting for it. We don't have a buy setup. This was the top showing you. We were trying to see whether we could buy this, but I didn't think anybody took the trade. And if you did, you'll judge to get out of it. Now we have a pullback. We have this pullback. And that could possibly be a running flat. I don't think it is. This looks like it might drop one more and then go. If it pulls back one more and then go, we'll go with a running flat. If not, just stay with the trade. Can we put an entry above the top? I think not as yet. Let's see if this becomes a flat. Which means if this actually goes through here like this and come back, this becomes a flat, then that buy becomes interesting, this trade here. So you want to get to the big trade, but you want to see the setup, because remember, this has a lot of divergence. I'm not going to go through all of that because we did it this morning and you should watch it. Why this might come only here and go down, and why you have to be careful of the sell, which means you want a really good setup. Swiss, yeah, we're looking for the sell, and you keep it under this low because this could still be a correction. Even if this goes up, can we buy it? I think we can buy. If this goes up at an entry here, get an entry above this top. If it takes off, it's just one trade more. You have to really be careful, because if this goes, it's just going to do this and come back down. So the trade will only be this. But the entry is going to be here and the stop is going to be here if it goes. Because if it comes down back to break this, you want to be out of that trade. It's a sell setup, right? So this whole structure is downside. The question is whether it's going to make one more up or not. And sometimes it goes deeper than you expected. So the risk to reward might be worth it 1-to-1. I think we can take the trade. So this sell comes off now. If this consolidates here, we sell it under this one. Let me go through that again. I'll try to take my time here. We have a buy in here, and this means we are expecting it to do that and then come down. Once it breaks this stop, the entry for the sell goes here. You will manage the buy and the entry for the sell goes there. If for whatever reason it stays here, the buy comes off and the sell goes under this for that trade. I think that is clear, right? I couldn't have been clearer than that. So that is clear. If you don't understand the reason for the trade or why we're doing that like that, look at more of my videos. You may, it might help you. So that changes to both sides, which means I put it blue. That means we're looking for both sides. This is absolutely a sell. It's going up. Remember, I tell you this could break and go, but it's not going to go very far. I would be careful of even buying this. It could probably come back here. I hope it does, because if it comes back here now, we might get a buy setup to go back up. Right? We're looking at this like this, and at some point it comes back here, go back up. You can decide if you want that, but then the big picture is the downside. So now this sell stays where it is. Should this thing drop to the bottom, you don't want to miss that trade. The trade to the downside is huge. Right? There's a very big trade to the downside. I don't know when and why and how it's going to go. Can this climb up all the way back to the top? Well, it possibly can, but I would not get a trade set up on it as yet. I wouldn't buy this until it pull back. If it pull back, we buy this one and see whether that gets to the top. If it gets to the top, we'll be looking for a flat like that. But I don't think it's going to the top. I think it's very slow. It's slower than this one and slower than this one. So I think we're going to drop. CAD, sorry, CAD is coming down already. It went up back, but not as much as I expect or the way I expect. Right? So it kind of do this. That went up back there. It didn't break the top. So we might eventually have to go with this as all the consolidation. If you want to sell CAD, you can sell it under the low. If you sell it under the low, you can sell it under the low here. But if you sell it under the low, you have to put a stop somewhere here. A higher stop than this one, because there is a chance that it could tag you here, pull back there, make a running flat or expanding flat and come back one more. And that would be your exit strategy. How low this can go? I don't think. Let's see the bigger picture first before we put that entry order. They're coming back pretty strong, so I'm not sure if they're not going to retest this low. It looks like it's trying to come back and retest this low, right? Which is in this correction. We're still in this, right? We haven't broken that up. So it looks like we're trying to retest, and if they retest this low, then all of this goes for the correction. We will relook at it. We'll see how it looks internally in terms of the structure. As of now, it doesn't really make a lot of sense with this coming here right now without going back and retesting the top. So there's a good chance we can see it go retest this top and then drop. It would be much better if we break that top first before it turns. So let's see, this is coming down. On the 4 hour, it still looks downside. On the 1 hour, do we have any divergence? No divergence. There is no divergence here. So any pullback would still mean downside, which means this can also still go. There is a pullback in this. It means it can still go. So if you take this trade, there's a really, really big risk in it, though. Because I feel they could retest that top. So if you take the trade, you have to manage it carefully. Put a stop somewhere here and manage it should it go back up. Should it come here and go back up there. So we'll put this, and I'll try to manage it for you during the next hour. We'll manage it. We'll put this as a sell. So should it tag you pull back? I'll show you how we exit trades like that. So we have a troll in here. Congratulations. I'm still popular. I still have trolls. I thought I lost you guys, man. Well, the troll is telling you to go learn ITC concept is a better time of its use than here. What an interesting thing. Why didn't you tell yourself that? You're here. So you should have actually told yourself the goal, to wait, not waste your time and come here. You're sharing your opinion with people and you're not using it yourself. That's kind of contradicting your purpose. Dude, you really, really need to learn some self-discipline, not to come in here so much. I know you love me, but I'm married and I'm not into you, so you don't have to follow me around if you don't like the work I do. If you come here, it means you like my work. And if you don't like my work, then why are you following me around? So don't do it. Right? Get a life. See you. Bye. Let's go. Vic, remove him. Not because of what he said, but because I don't want trolls in here to disturb. Euro yen. Let's go. So Euro yen, it's coming up more. And like I said this morning, we don't have a buy setup. We're going to watch this coming down here because as long as you're in these two, you're not actually going for a buy setup. I hope you're a girl because first, I'm not into boys and I'm married. So don't follow me around, so man. Get a life. Right? Get a life. Trade. The pattern trader, go get a life, right? You know you can do that. So come, let's go. It's fun. That's just fun. I love these trolls, right? They do make me smile. Right? Telling you not to be here, but he is here. Like that's the contradiction. Okay, let's move on. So as long as we're in this one and we're in this one, there's no buy setup unless you have to get it from the bottom here because by the time it gets here, it can turn to the bottom, right? So you don't want to do that. We wait for it. The sell comes off because if we're still looking for a sell setup, but not from here anymore. We're looking for a sell setup from the top here. You want it to go to the top there. You want this to come all the way here. And then wait for a sell setup from the top coming down, which is like this. See that sell setup there? See this one? So we'll wait. And if just in case you're wondering how we took that, we took two of that already this morning, right? Remember the pound CAD and the pound dollar? And both of them are going very well. So you saw how we did it, right? Let's go. EuroCAD. EuroCAD is coming down. We couldn't sell this because there was no flag to sell when we were in this morning. But if after I left, any one of you took this trade, you did well. Remember what I told you, EuroCAD is going to drop and this might be all the correction. So if you took that flag there, you did well. Now you can wait for this to drop a little more and then put it to break even. So it's coming down really slow though. It's not coming down as fast as I thought it would come down. Can we leave this here for the sell? No, because this one is already coming down slow. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for a flag. Since you missed the trade, let's say you missed this trade like me because I wasn't in front of my screen. What you do is you'd wait for this to make another flag because there's a very good chance that if they're making flags here, right, that it will go back up and then drop. And we've seen that many times where you get tagged at the bottom here and then it goes back up and you close the trade and then you watch it drop. So what we're going to do is we're going to wait for it to come here, either make a flag and sell or go back up to the top and sell it from the top this time. Let's see which comes first. The bigger trade is to the downside, and I mean, that is going to go quite a lot. So let's go. Euro Swiss. We didn't have any trade. It did break the top. Remember, I was showing you it needs to break, go back and break that top. We were expecting this to go back and break the top, right? Then we would look for the sell setup. And the reason we're not selling it is because this is not a good sell setup. See? So that's why we didn't take the sell. Now, this could be a channel for upside. Let me take that out now, right? That's a top. That wasn't a buy or a sell. We were looking for a sell actually, but we didn't sell it because it didn't break the top again and the pattern was not clear. But now it's making a channel. And if it continues to do the channel, that will actually be a very good buy setup. The buy on this one is short term. So two ways we're going to look at this. Either this becomes, it breaks the low here now and breaks the low and then go back up all the way back to the top. Or we just make a short move back, make a running flat, and then drop. So I'm not interested in that sell right now. And the buy, normally we would trade the buy channel like this with an entry order, but in this case, no, because we still have this. So I would think this is the B wave for a possible running flat, go back up there. And once it gets to the top there, we'll look for a sell setup from this here, come back. If it makes a flag, we'll consider that they're going to retest this top. They'll go back to retest the top for a bigger flat. So right now, although we're looking for a trade, a sell setup, we don't have a sell setup. So I'll stay out of that again. Euro New Zealand is a sell. Now, some of you might have got tagged in this. Remember what I said, you keep your stop above here because there's a possibility for this to make a running flat. I think we just made the running flat. So this one should be a sell here, but I don't like the fact that it went back till there. So the entry order stays right here. Now, if you're in the trade, you want to get out of this trade as early as possible, because if this becomes a flat, if this stays here longer, they will go higher and then come down. So what you're going to do is, if you're in this trade, you're going to use this pullback to exit the trade for a small loss and put an entry under the low. So we will still put an entry under the low. The entry still goes under the low, but you're going to use this to exit, which means if your stop is here, you bring the stop down to, let's put where a stop should go now. So the initial stop is above the impulse because we're trading this consolidation. Every time you trade this consolidation, your initial stop is above the impulse. It was above, this one was above that impulse. This one here should be above this impulse. So you will move that stop. Let's change the color of it for you guys. So let's take this here and change the color to red as a stop. You'll move that stop to above here, because if they break this stop again, they're going to go up. So you've just half the risk you had on. If you're risking 1%, you're 0.5%, which means if it goes and break that, get out of the trade because it can go up. What you want to see is you want this to come back some more here. And if it keeps coming down slow like this, close the trade. You'll have about 4 pips, 5 pips loss, close the trade, because it's going to go back up and then we're going to sell it from here coming down. That's the one, right? It's going to come back and go back deep like this piece. See, they did this and then they went back up. It's a very similar piece, actually, if you look at it. So if you're looking at this piece here, right? My thought process would have been that this would drop. And then it came tag, you went back up and then drop, right? So we thought this would tag, it has to come down. But if it's coming down slow, then they would probably make another flat. This would be a smaller version of a flat. And that was the small flat we actually sold. So it could either be a running flat now or make a bigger version of a flat here. Look for an exit and then re-enter the trade. If you're not in the trade, you can still put an entry order to sell here. Because if it's a running flat, this one is going to drop. See? So this is how you manage your trade to get out from trades that are not going your way for less than you normally put a risk on that. You know, if you're risking 1% on all your trades and all the ones that don't go, you close them for 0.5%, mathematically you can't lose, right? And I'll show you that stat. I think I showed traders already, but I'll do just for curiosity. Not going to work perfect like this for you, but just to give you the worst possible way you can trade and still make money. So if you're to take 100 trades in a month, right? And let's say you only win 20 of those trades. Those are wins. By win, I mean you get at least 1-to-1 or 2-to-1. Let's say 2-to-1, right? So you multiply this by 2. You win only 20 of the trades. We're going to, just for the statistic purpose, we're going to say you're putting 1% on every trade, right? So you would actually get 40% here. Let's say you lose 20% of the trade, right? That is 1. You're losing 1 what you risk, whatever you risk, right? So you're going to lose 20% of it. So you make 40%, you lose 20%. And let's say all the other trades, which you were really bad in this deciding direction, but all the other trades that you got, which is 60% of them, you can close for break even. And by break even, I mean slightly negative, slightly positive, or break even. Because you will close some for 10 pips minus, 10 pips plus, or exactly break even. The majority of them, we managed to close for positive break even. But I'll call all of them break even. So there is no loss. And that is considering that 80% of your trade are no good. They didn't go. And by didn't go, if you take a trade here, it dropped. That's your trade. You take a trade there, it stop here and it start to do this. Well, that's not your trade. So if a trade goes, it has to go more than 1 before you count it as a trade, as a winning trade. And by this, I mean, we're going to count that 20%, 1 to 2. If a trade doesn't go, it's either a break even negative, break even positive, or break even. And if a trade is a loss, it's the one that get back to your stop loss. So if you're like the very, very bad trader and 80% of your trade are not going your direction, not making winning trades, you can still be positive. That is if you know how to manage 60% of them out for break even. See? So knowing when to get out of a trade is very important. How do you manage this? So this one is 0.5. Let's say you close the trade somewhere, it comes back here and you close there. Even if you close there, that's half. You will close some for half of like where your trade was supposed to go, you'll get half of it. Instead of one, you'll check that as a positive break even. And you would find that the majority of your trades that you manage that way, right, will actually save your account. Because the whole point is to become a professional trader is not to make a winning trade or a good trade. That anybody can do that. Any one of us can click buy or sell and be successful, right? Like the guy who clicked sell on euro this morning. If he managed that correctly, he exit for positive. But what if he doesn't know what to do with the trade? Then he can end up getting a loss on that trade. And that's what makes you lose, right? It's not you not being able to make a winning trade, is that you don't know what to do with your losing trades. A professional trader is the guy who knows how to manage his trades, his bad trades, to get out of them really quick and let the successful trades go. Successful trades, the good trades are going to go. You don't even have to do anything. If you're selling and it drop, you take profit. Right? That's all you'll have to do, take profit. You also have to know where and how to take profit, which is what we teach you in our group. Right? Then we will show you this week how we do that. So with that said, let's move on. Swiss, we didn't do anything here. We're looking for a sell setup. We don't have a sell setup. It's going back. We will probably get a sell setup once it goes back to the top and it makes this flat. We'll probably get a sell setup. So it needs to come back here and then we'll be looking for a sell setup. We can actually put a sell here right now because it's going up, right? It will probably continue to go up. You can put a sell setup here. Sorry, that should be blue. Let me just change this. So you can put a sell setup at that now. We're expecting this to drop, right? It will drop one more and then we'll probably go up. In the big picture of things, we're expecting it to go up, right? In the big picture, let me just show you that bigger one. In the big picture, this is going to go up. By the way, if some of you are following me, you'll remember this one. When we came here, we said it's going to either be a running flat and come back, retest the low, or it's going to go all the way to the top. Well, we traded this up, we traded this down, and we've started trading this up. But remember, it's going really slow, so I think it's going to break the low again, and then it's going to go. It will still go up. But first, the chances are this, because it's going like that, will come and break the low. There's a chance we're going to do this. Come here, break this low. And that's why we're trading it downwards. And then we're still going to go back up because this is still going to happen. Right? This move is still going to happen. So it's just a matter of when we break that low, if we want to trade. So if we get a trade there for breaking the low, I think we'll go with it. If this goes there and drop, we take this trade and then we start looking for buy setups. So this is an active sell now. We'll change that to an active sell. You're in New Zealand, what do we do with it? Okay, it's still, let me go back to this. It's an active sell because you're still in the trade. Once we close the trade, we'll take it out. So let's go. Europong, we don't have anything in Europong. I don't think there is anything there. Okay, we have it set up here to sell, but it's take that out. It's already back at the top. It's at the top of this structure. So whatever this is, we'll put it, once we break the top, it might be an expanding flat, but we put, I mean, within this piece would be an expanding flat, but we put it like that for now. We don't have a trade set up there. We'll stay away from that. Pangos. Okay, this needs to go back up. You see that sharp one there? So this needs to go back up. This one dropped, it didn't go back. So put this on the 15 here. I want to show you the internals. So the reason we didn't sell this morning also is because we didn't have this, right? So it turns out this might have been all the correction. That there might have been all this correction as a very, very small flag. And these were just deep pullback within this move. So we didn't get anything. Here's what you're going to look for now. We're looking for this piece. Give us that one, and then one more down, and then the upside. So this is the whole structure we're looking at. And because we have this sharp move and this one pull back to the low, the likelihood is they're going to come there again, come back, retest this low, then go. Right? That's one option. Because this one had this big pullback here, this big one. This had a small one, a very small one. So it could actually have more than one. Come here and then go back up. What if I'm wrong and this just keeps going? Well, good for us because we're looking for a buy. I'm not looking for a sell setup at the bottom here. Not in this pattern. Right? So what we'll be looking for here is a buy setup. Come here and look for a buy setup. Now that it's already reached the low, this would have been a good sell if they didn't pull back so much here. So wait for this. Go. That means I'm going to look at Euro Oz immediately again because we have the same thing happening in the Euros, this thing. So I think this is going to come back here. Like I said, this is probably going to come here and then drop. Break the low again and then go back up. So we'll see. We'll wait for this trade actually. Let's see. Pong should go, the Pong all should go up more. So we'll see where that goes. Pong in. It could be a buy if you bought this flag here this morning, you put it to break even. There's another buy setup here. I probably think we don't take it. It's too much consolidation. So now there's no reason to buy that. Take this off. We're gonna be stuck in a big sideways here, and I'll put a sell setup here. I'll put a sell setup under this. Okay, this looks more like a flag now for a running flat in the middle here. This goes back up to the top, it could drop. It doesn't necessarily need to break this low, it could just drop like this and go back up, making this a flat. But this would be a good trade. So I'll go for that trade and then we'll see where it goes from there. We're still in this consolidation, and it means we're stuck here for a longer period of time. This would be an active sell. Pound New Zealand, not going anywhere. So if you were in the sell, let's go back to if you were in the sell this morning, that is this one. The first trade was this. Remember when it started to consolidate, we closed it for break even, I think. And then we put this entry and that dropped and it pulled back and it dropped. And the same thing you're going to do is close that trade, right? Because now it's going to make a bigger flat here. If it's not going, don't stay with the trade, because at some point they could do that and take you out, right? So it's not going, two trades, two positive. This will be positive break evens, right? So the first one we closed, it wasn't going. The second one, if you took this one and you have to close it somewhere here, right? You can close it now if you haven't closed it. So we'll take this out, take these trades out. It's still a sell setup, but now we wait for the flat. We still have to break this low before we go back, but now it's making, with this one, it's going to probably make a running flat. See that move there? It came here, went to back. This has to come here, go back up, and then this is sell setup. So go into 1 hour, wait for the flag, then you sell it. Once we break that low, we'll be going back, right? We're looking for the upside now. I think we just let this finish what it's doing and then look for the buy. If this sell setup is good, we'll still take it. And now we'll start to look for that buy setup to the upside. Either that one, or it comes here and come back down again and then go. But it's a buy setup, so we'll be looking for the buy setup now. Punkad. Okay, this was a sell we took here in the trading room. I think we took this live in the session this morning and said, okay, because it went up, and by the end of the session, we sort of put an entry, wait for it to drop. Now we are thinking of closing the trade. Now you should close. This is the first pullback. So this was the first pullback. We made a new low. This is the first pullback. You can wait here, and if it starts to consolidate, close the trade. If it's going to reverse, we close the trade. You take that profit, and we'll be looking for upside. Right? We're looking at a 1, 2, 3 that could possibly go back up and make a new high, break this stuff. So if you're in the trade, you're already at break even. You don't have to worry about that. And now you look to take profit at the bottom here. So wait for this to close. Wait for the next one. If it breaks the low again, you stay with it. If it stays within this one, close the trade, take profit. Pretty simple. Pound Swiss. We're expecting this to go up. Take that off. It dropped quite a lot. So let's see what we have here. Let me take that out. Okay, so we would assume that this is a contracting flat. Let me take this off. I'd assume that's a small contracting flat in there then, because we broke the low, and this would be the running flat. We looked at this running flat this morning before we had that. Turned out the running flat is correct. So the bigger picture is what? Still sideways. See? Bigger picture is still sideways. Question is, can we extend this to be a bigger flat in here? Or is it making a bigger flat here? Both of those possible. It could be making another flat here and then drop again. The big picture is upside, so I don't think this is going to go back up to the top without breaking the low. And if we're making another flat, it will probably stay here for a while. So let's wait for a break of the low, which means this might still drop some more. It could probably go up. We might end up with a running flat too. That's an option. Could end up with this being a running flat if it just comes to this level here and drop. Now the sell is not a great idea anymore, because the sell just only needs to break this low and then turn. So I think we ignore the sell. We wait to see if we get the turn, and then we go for the trade. All right, let's ignore the sell, because seller doesn't have a risk to reward. We wait for the buy setup. Take that off, wait. Aussie Swiss. You have a buy setup here. You can take the trade. We're in the consult. Let me take this contracting flat off. It might not be a contracting flat. So if we don't treat it like a contracting flat, this is what you have. You have a sharp move up and you have this. So you put it in the 1 hour. This is where we are. This eventually goes up, right? This is 1, 1, 2, 3. This eventually goes up, but it's making a lot of correction. So the idea is that this sharp move here should eventually go there, come back here, make a flat and go. But we have this one. And that doesn't have anything in it, which means sometimes that's a contracting flat and this just takes off. So if you're going to take the trade, you have to go with the risk that it might not go there, although we were expecting it to go there. It might take a while to go there, right? See this pattern? Actually, we figured this out once it started to come here and go there. And we did this, that it's going to go there, come here, go there, and then drop. You can keep track of it, by the way. All of that could happen this week. So we're not going to take this out. So you're going to see how pattern behaves and how we recognize them. So this piece now, where is the trade for us? There is a running flat here. I think we will break this top. I don't like contracting flats, which means I don't want to trade it as a contracting flat. If this had broken the low, I would have an entry here to go. But because it doesn't break the low, I don't like the idea of a contracting flat because all contracting flats become running flats. This one could go here, come back like this, go back there, and then drop here and then go. That's one option of how it could develop. The second option is it just comes here, break the low, and then go back up. Or the third option, well, then yes, it is a contracting flat. I got it wrong, and this went up. So when it breaks this top, if it makes any flag here, we will buy. That will confirm that it's not a contracting flat. Right? So we'll just wait there to see what it does. So let's wait and see. I wouldn't buy this. If it's going to drop, we will sell it. So what would become the sell setup? Well, it needs to break the top, come back here, give us a flag. We'll sell for this one first. Right? That could go there, go back. If it makes another flag, we sell. We're selling for this one. And then the upside. If you sell this one and it dropped through the bottom, good for you. Take profit. Look for the buy setup. We'll show you the patterns and how they change and how we trade them. Aussie yen. Okay, this one gone pretty high. So I'll go running flat, which means we got 1, 2, 3 all the way to the top. But this is the impulse here. So although we broke the top and we didn't buy it because this is a flat, we're looking at a 1, at a 2, and still comes back here. So we're still looking for a sell setup. And then the upside. So from this point, any sell setup I get has just become a little better because now the move to the downside is this one. If you realize we sold this, so we're looking for a sell from the top, from the very top here. Still looking for that sell setup. That has not changed. Structurally, that has not changed anything. Right, let's wait and see if we get any sell setup. Aussie CAD. We could go with the buy because this pulled back a lot. Kind of pulled back a lot. So if you get a flag here, go for the buy setup. We need a flag here and then we're going for the buy setup. A flag should look like this. See this? That's a flag. So if you get a flag here, we'll go for the buy setup. Got in. Still a sell. You can leave. You don't need to sell it here. We'll try to sell it from the top coming down. So we need a small flag, but you can leave this entry over here. It's still a sell setup, and the sell should break this low. So let's see if we get the sell from the top. We'll keep an eye on that, and then we'll go with it. Aussie, New Zealand going back up. So look for a buy setup. We have an entry here because there's no flag in this. If it makes a flag, we take it. But if it breaks out, you go with this one. New Zealand yen, this went up to same thing. It broke the top. Let's look for a sell setup. So we're looking for an active sell setup here now. Well, it needs to come down, make a flag. See this? That was a sell. This was a sell. Come here, make a flag, and then we'll be selling it. New Zealand CAD. Okay, this one still it wouldn't go. So the first trade we took, the second trade we took a pullback. Your stop is here. We're looking for an exit. Now, 2 ways you're going to look at this. Either this thing takes off like a rocket right now and go. We stay with the trade, or it comes up here slowly and we close the trade, wait for this to come back, and then still go for the upside. We're still looking for the upside. It still will go up now. We're trying to get back to that top. Right? So there's a good chance this, you see this deep pullback? This is just a deep pullback to go. So your stop is here. Let's see if we can get the trade to go all the way to the top. If you close the trade, some of my traders, if you're in the first trade, you probably closed it. Let's see on the hourly what it looks like. Yeah, the first trade should have closed. If you're in the first one, you close it, and if you got tagged in the second one, you're still in that one. We'll close it. Let's see what it does here first. So I will try to see if I can close this trade in this room, so you'll see how we do it again. Wait for that, right? New Zealand Swiss. Okay, we could get a sell set up here. Put it like this. We're at the top. If this makes a flag, we're selling not here, we're selling under here. And the trade should come and break this low. So you'll expect 1, 2, come back here, break this low, and then go back up. So this might be a trade we will go with. It's not a trade as yet, but that is a possible trade. Wait for a flag. You don't have a flag. You just have 1 hour pullback. It's just a single candle pullback on the 1 hour. See? So that's not a sell setup as yet. But as soon as we get a flag here, we'll put an entry there for the sell. So take this off, look for a sell setup. Cat Swiss. The first sell was here, the second sell was here. So let's say you got tagged in the first one. When it went there, remember I said stay with the trade. Now, if you were in the trade, you should stay with it. Those of you who weren't in the trade, we had an entry here if it is going to drop like this. Right? Now, if you got tagged here, don't worry, you'll still get a chance to get out. It's just making a flat, but you should not keep it, right? By my traders would know the rule that when you see this, you should exit the first trade and don't put the second trade on it because it has to go back up for this one. And that's what it did. Go back up, we got a flat here. Now this should come back down here and break this low. And all of that could be more or less a flat pattern when it comes here. So when this comes down here, you would have to look to exit that trade because it's going to go up 1 more, right? Take this out. This is going to go. It's still going to come down eventually, but it's going to go up 1 more. So this one should come back here. You don't have to worry very much about it. You can exit that trade. When it comes here, this is a flat. This would be 1, 2, come back here for 3. It could come pretty slow. Doesn't have to come fast. You will exit that trade, and then we would look for a buy setup, and then we look for the sell. Right? So this is telling me that this trade is not going. Your stop for that trade is above this stop, right? So the first trade is here, you close for positive. The second trade, if you got tagged, you should have pulled it, but if you got tagged, this is going to come down. You will be looking to close the trade. Let's see how fast it goes. If it goes really fast, you stay with it. If it starts to slow down, you will exit the trade. But it's going to come back because it's a flat. See, you don't have to be scared. You don't have to be worried. You just have to understand what the chart is doing. So this should come back here. Let's hope it dropped. If it dropped, that would be great. You'll still be in both trades, or you'll be in the second trade at least, because the first trade you're supposed to close by rule. You're not supposed to be in it. And if you close the first trade, your entry now for this first trade, your entry should be here under this low. Right? So if you're now for the first time watching this, you can put an entry there, but it's not making the impulse we expect it to make. So you have to be able to manage that trade, which means unless it does this, instead of doing this, you would have to exit that trade because this is going to go back up. If it drops really sharp, well, good for you. It's still a sell setup. This structure is still a sell setup. Nothing has happened. So you can still put that entry order and hope that it actually drops really fast. And sometimes they do, right? Look, this one, for example. See, this was coming down really slow here. See that up move? That up move was an in to put an entry order here for this sell. So we're getting the same thing here. We had a small running flat, then we get a flat. And this flat, that's an expanding flat, by the way, could drop through the bottom and might even drop through this whole thing. So the sell is still good. We'll leave it as an active sell. Swiss yen. Okay, you can pull it like this now and wait for a sell setup. Wait for a flag from the top to sell. Right? We've got ourselves a flat, which means you see this first flat drop. This is a bigger one. Wait for a sell from the top. Wait for a sell setup. And this is still a sell. So if it tag you, don't worry. It's going down really slow now, so you have to exit this trade. See that small flag? And a small flag and a small flag. This one will probably drop here, take off the trade. Because when you make a series of small flags like that, you tend to make a deeper correction and then drop. It's still downside, but it will make a deeper correction. So you will use this to exit your trade. Your stop for this trade is above here. Remember, I said keep the stop above the impulse, not above this one. And if you exit there, the trade is not this piece. This is not your trade. Your trade is way down to the bottom. This is where your trade is trying to come. See, that is the trade you're trying to get. But if it's not moving, then you don't have to stay with it. There's no point staying with it. If you come out tomorrow, I'll explain to you guys why there's no point staying with a trade like that. Actually, it's beneficial to exit the trade and re-enter the trade rather than stay with it. So let's see. This is still a valid trade. If this one actually breaks through, if it goes fast, stay with it. If it stays, make another flag like that, just close the trade because it's not going to go anywhere. Natural gas. It didn't pull back, but if you're in the buy, good for you. If you're in this buy and if you're in that buy, good, this didn't pull back. Wait for another flag, buy again. You need another flag and the other flag, buy. Oil. I think you got that right. Pretty easy, right? Flag, put an entry, go. And this could go. You'll watch it when it comes. The trend line is irrelevant. So let me explain that. The trend line, but you will watch it when it comes to this area here because we're in a downtrend. It could break the trend and still come back. It could don't break the trend and turn. It could break the trend and go. So it doesn't matter. The trend line is just a gauge a point where we think that you're still in the downtrend or you're changing direction. Right? It doesn't make any, it has nothing to do with the trade. So you stay with the trade. Your trade is a good trade. Let's see how far it goes. Let's see. Let's start there. Buy setup. Did it pull back? Let's see if it pulls back first. It was supposed to pull back and then you're supposed to put your buy entry into it. They did pull back. See that? Perfect, right? We were at the top there. They drop here. So you got a flat. You got a perfect running flat here. Works like magic. Now your entry is here. You might have been tagged in that trade already. Any of our traders got tagged in it. It's still a buy setup, right? It's going slow, but it's still going. Now we'll keep an eye on it when it breaks and stop. If it keeps going slow like that, get rid of it. Because now you want this to take off. Still a buy setup. Let's say this one. Nope, we didn't take this. Okay, this is going to come here, but it's not a good trade. Let's see this. We'll wait for the sell setup. This also, we're in the sideways, so this is not going anywhere. Which means this might not really go, but you'll get break even out of the trade. This one is going to go back to the top. So if you don't like it, if it breaks and it starts to pull back, just take it off. Right? That is, if you want to know what will be a successful trade, this thing will do like this. If it like what oil is doing right now. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to manage it. You can just put it to break even and walk away. Right? That's a good trade, but you don't need to put oil to break even as yet. Right? A good trade will go. You don't have to worry about it. A bad trade is the one that go tag and start to pull back, and now you have to make a decision what to do with it. About 60% of your trade will be that. So if you don't know to manage trade properly, the chances are you're going to be a losing trader because you have no idea what the chart is doing. That's all. The only reason you don't know what to do it is because you don't know what the chart is doing. You can't read this pattern the way I can read it. So you're thinking, whoa, I don't know what it's going to do. Oh my God, it's going to go up and maybe it's going to come down. Maybe it's going to kill me. Let me close this trade for a small loss. And then you watch it go in your direction. S&P 500. Wait, stay away from it. We already do those. Let's see. We're looking at this one for a sell. Not valid. Take it off. It's still a sell, but it's too high. So what it means if we get a sell, we'll take it from the top. That is still a sell setup. All right, we sold this one. We're going to sell this one. We need to get the sell in here. DAX, it's dropping. Close the trade. Wait for a flag, sell. So if you're in this trade, you can either put the break even or you can close it. I think you should close it. It's probably going to go back up. This is a positive close. It's going to go back here. You'll either get yourself a running flat and then put an entry under the low for the sell. It looks like we already had a running flat. Put the break even if you want, because you can make an argument for this being a running flat already. So this should continue to go. But if it keeps going as slow as that, you will close. So you can put it to break even and stay with it. Let's see how far it goes. You have a sell setup here, but this is not going to go far. I do have a sell setup. This should just come break this one back up. So leave it. Let's see this. Nifty. We're pretty high up on Nifty, so I wouldn't be surprised if they correct a lot, but we don't have any sell setup. As a matter of fact, we have a buy setup, not a sell. It's not ready as yet, but you can put an entry order above the top. I don't think it's going to take off. I'll put an entry order there should it take off. It could correct deeply, but we don't have a sell. We'll have to wait for a proper sell setup if we're gonna go. Gold is perfect for the sell setup now. If it should drop, go for it. I hope you close the euro because it's back at the top. The person who was in this morning, I hope you close it for stiff. Because it's gone back to the top and we have a sell entry under this low now. It's still a sell, except now we can say we have the running flat. Now I think we will go with this one as the running flat. And you have 1, 2, 3. So this is a good sell for the downside. Let's see if that goes. So if you wait for your trade and if you wait for the setup to put your entry, you don't have to worry. You're out of you're not nervous when you put this entry on. But this one here was a nervous one. So now we're gonna wait for this. If it drops, if it goes higher, we don't have a trade. I'm not buying this at the top here. I'm waiting for it to drop because this is a flag that normally drops. So let's see if we get the sell setup. Okay, we finish all of these. We finish all of those. Let's see Bitcoin for those of you who want to see crypto. Yeah, if you got tagged on it, you better close it because it's still in consolidation. I still think it could go lower. We haven't broken this low. This could still go low, but they're pulling back, pulling back, pulling back. When you're in this consolidation, that happens pretty often, right? So the question is, can we look at this as a 1, 2, 3, a deep correction, and this is a 1, 2, 3 back? Then you put it like this, and the whole structure becomes a buy setup. And that whole thing here is correction for upside. So what you're going to do, you're going to watch this. It should break this low. I think we should come back and break this low. And then if we're going up, it could do that. So you get like a 1, 2, 3, a 1, 2, 3, and then go back up. Let's see if it comes. It will come a little low. I hope you are not in the sell because sell is a little dangerous. But if you're in the sell, you will want to exit it really quick here. In this consolidation here, close it in this one. I think you see that consolidation, which is a buy setup, but I wouldn't buy it until it breaks the low. So I wouldn't buy this. I'll wait until it breaks the low and buy it because this can stop right here and drop again. I will probably go to running flat here. So like this one, see it stop right there and then drop it there. So there's a good chance we can come back and break this low first before it goes up. All the rest were downside. This was downside. I think this was downside. This was downside. This was both sides. So it's the only one that had both sides possibility. So if you sell it, close it. And we're looking for this possibility as well. Buy setup. We don't have it yet. But the chances are this could go back up one more. That should be the same thing. I think it was downside. Right? We had everything for downside. Everything else I think was downside. Now it's pulling back. So let's wait and see if we get a buy setup here now. This was the only one that could give you a buy setup. So wait for this. Make a flag here and then we go for the buy. It's under 15, so let it make a 50 minutes flag. You want this to consolidate, and then we'll buy that if we get a consolidation. Where and when we get a consolidation. Same with this. I don't think we had anything. It's going up back. Let's see where it's in the big zone. Yep, this one is upside. See this flat here? So this is upside. Wait for a flag, buy it. Wait for a flag here to buy this. Actually, this is perfect. It had a really nice running flat in the middle here. So you get 1, 2, 3. You get 1, 2, 3. Wait for a flag here, get in that trade to the upside. This is actually a very nice one structurally, but wait for the flag because you can still drop one more and drop one more and drop one more and then go. So you wait for the flag to give the confirmation. That one, now it's going up. Nothing here. Stay away from this. Let's see this one. This could go back up to, let's see, structurally it could, but I don't know if it will. Not necessary that this go back up, but it can go back up structurally, right? We're still in this. So we could still make more of these to the upside. And link. This also has an upside structure. I think I showed this already. Or was it one before this? I think that was Dash, right? Or Dot. Not Dash. Dot has a, yeah, this one has the flat and this one has the same flat. Right? Just a bigger version of the same flat. Wait for buy setups here. And let's see this. This needs to come down a little more. It needs to come down a little more, one more drop, and then it will be ready for the same pattern. And this here, let's see what we have in this one. Okay, this one came down a little more than expected. I was expecting one more up than the drop. So if it dropped, can we put this with anything? Contracting flat. Here's that idea. So let's wait. I'll not put a contracting flat. Yes, I don't like. Should we put it with this one? I don't like that idea either. So let's wait. Let's see if we get a buy setup here because you have 1, 2, 3, right? We broke the low. So the question is whether we get a buy setup here or not. This one's structurally upside too. Right? That could go up. We just need to wait for this to give you a buy setup to go up. So we do have some upside. We do have some downside. That's what you can see. So completed, managed to go through everything for you guys. Now you have the view on all of them. Let's go look at trade setup. Some of the trades I'll be focusing on right now that I think could happen would be gold sell. I think this is a really good sell setup. Once we break this top, I wouldn't be surprised if they start to drop. So you may want to focus on the gold sell. You may want to focus on the pound sell. You may want to focus on the euro sell, which is now going to be valid. Aussie and New Zealand should come down, but they're not actually sell setups in terms of bigger trade to the downside. You might want to focus on the yen, but the yen sell is not going to happen today. The yen might even go up a little more. The yen sell is likely going to happen tomorrow or the day after. The bigger trade to the downside for the yen is sell, but it's going up slowly, which is a consolidation, not a buy setup for me. I would not buy. I don't buy in trades like that. So with that said, let's go. I can take questions. I can relook at charts you want me to look at. If there's anything else you want to look at, we can take a look at that. So start typing, both sides. Our traders in the room and the traders in YouTube. Or type your questions if you have any questions. Anyone? Just to make sure you guys can hear me, right? Because it seems like I put everybody to sleep. I know when the webinar is pretty long, traders get tired. No questions? That is amazing. It means you either understand everything or you understood nothing I said. I don't know which one it is. Somebody was looking for the buy and the Swiss. Let's see. I think we looked at it. We didn't have a buy setup. Let me see again if we have a buy setup now. Nope, we don't have a buy setup as yet. You can put the entry here now for the buy, but if this doesn't take off and it makes a flag, then we go for the sell. We don't have a sell here, so you need a flag. So wait for this to make a flag before you sell. On the buy side, yes, if it takes off like a rocket, you can put a buy here, right above this one. Stay a little above it, not exactly. Do you think channels are sign reversal? Not necessary, unless you're in a structure where reversal is coming. So channels, everything is a channel, right? Basically, if the chart is moving like this, if the chart is moving like this, it's a channel, right? But it could be a trending channel, not a reversal channel. You follow what I'm saying? So this could continue to go on like this for further. Leading diagonals look like channels sometimes. They might be contracting or expanding, but they do look like channels sometimes. So unless you're at the reversal point, then the channel does not mean the reversal. For example, this looks like a channel. It doesn't necessarily mean a reversal. If you get a flag here, it could drop through the bottom. Right? This looks like a small channel. But if you get a flag here, that will drop through the bottom. Right? Sometimes the first move is going really slow and it looks like a channel. So you would have to look at the bigger picture. What about silver and wheat? Let's see. Silver, we're looking for a sell setup. If it stays here too long, we'll assume that this pattern is going to change, but right now it's a sell. And let's see what this does. I want to see if this drop or if this makes another flat here. If it stays here too long, take off the sell, right? You know that it has to be a drop. And if it doesn't drop, we take off the sell. If it comes down really, so I think I explained that in one of the charts just now, right? That if this is going to come down really slow like this sell comes off because it's going to go back up and then we will look for the sell setup. Link, I think we take a look. I'll look at it again for you. I think this has a buy. This doesn't have anything. Structurally, you look for a buy. So on Link, we would look for a buy setup here, but it's not ready as yet. You don't have the trade. You need a flag there, and we don't have a flag. And by flag, I mean something like this. See this? So I need this to consolidate like this, and then if we get that, we can go. Can this actually drop one more? Yeah, it can drop one more. Right, this could still drop one more here, and then we will end up with this coming from this point, and this one coming from this point. So these were the forecasts we had, and I think if you want to know how that is done, see, we're looking for this to be an equivalent of this, which means from this point we expect it to go back up. There are many reasons for that. I think it will go. We just don't have the buy setup. Can I check? So, well, one of my traders want wheat. We'll check wheat, and then we'll check copper. Is there somebody in my group asking for wheat? We had wheat here. I don't know if, yeah, we have wheat here. So let's see. Okay, what's the big picture? And the big picture is a sell setup, right? Within this structure, the big picture is a sell setup. See this? So we expect this to come down here and then probably go back up. Look for the sell setup there. I think you're actually getting a sell setup here on this one. Wait for this to see if it breaks out and go for that trade. See? Put an entry order under the low. Put an entry order here for the sell. If this is the drop really fast, you're in that sell. If it stays here, consolidate, go one more up, you move the entry up, right? Roman, you know how to do that. Good job. Keep an eye on that. And let's see copper. I think we had copper here too. Let me see if I still have it. Copper is X what? I haven't looked at copper for a long time. XPT, I think. One is XPT and one is XPT. Platinum and copper always mix them. So let's see. It's XPT, I think. Nope. XPT. USD.
HG.
What is copper again? Go ahead, Ivan. What is it?
HG.
HG?
One exclamation.
HG1. Wait 1 second. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, I had to get the lights on. I didn't realize it got so dark here. HG1 exclamation, right? Okay, that is the futures. And what about the spot?
This is the one that's close to mine.
Okay. Okay, let's go with this then. 4 hours, let's see. Oh, we're in some kind of a big, let's see this on the daily. We have a drop here from this. We got to move up. We're getting consolidation. This looks like it's incomplete, which means I think this looks down and then up. I'll be looking for a possible running flat here. Come back here. And then down. This is the first impulse into it, right? Because this was your running flat here, contracting flat or whatever. So I think we can look at it this way. Let me see the bigger picture again. Where is it? Where is it trying to go? Oh, we need a sharp move down. We got a 1, 2, 3 here if we look at it like that. So we need to move down here to come back. I don't think we will look at that as an expansion. So this is more downside. It's consolidating in this range. So if we go back to the 4 hour, I think we should look for sell setups. I should look for this to break at some point. Wait for this to come down. Right, you don't have the sell setup there as yet, but it could go one more, but the bigger picture is sell setup. So keep an eye here for a sell setup in the star so far. This is sharp. This is relatively. This is sharp. So I think this one will probably come one more and then go back up. But this one. So see which one comes for, but the sell setup is the one you're looking for. If this consolidates here, if this consolidates here a lot, it will be one more up. But all of this will be inside of this one. See? So we'll still drop here, probably go back up there and then come down. You could still get this, go back up and then come. I would probably put this as an expansion. Put this as a zone flat. This is a flag. You got a small one there. You got one here. A small one there. You got a small one here. Or this could be the low, whichever. If this is the low, then this was the flat. The flat, the low, and then up. So this point here, it might be for come down some more, go one up, and then you look for the sell. Okay, so we got that done. Let's see. Oh, we did link. Can you check copper? I think we're doing that right now. Let's see what is the next one. Any chance of Bitcoin grow up without impulse to lower down? All right, you want to know if it can go up now? Any chance of Bitcoin to go up now with it going down? Well, here's the thing. Let me take this out. You see here? Normally, if this is to complete this pattern, we would look for it to break it. It doesn't mean it can go, but if it goes up, you will still be in the consolidation. You'll be in this. So it could come here, but then it will probably go back and retest the low. They're rare when it goes up without breaking this low. So for now, I'm going to put it like this because we don't know if this is going to drop, right? Now, if I'm going to be buying this to the upside, I would need this. Like, see this, we sold this. See this, we sold that because you had a flag here and we were expecting this to drop. We sold this morning because you had a flag here and we expect this to drop. So when it comes back here, you close the trade. This would need to make a flag here. And only then we would assume that this is going up. It will have to break out of this structure as well. So I'm going to do it two ways. I'm going to skip this just for you in the 15. Take this off. If I'm looking for a buy even in the 15 minutes, you pull this one and you wait for this to make a flag before you go, because just pulling back here doesn't mean anything. This thing could stop right here and drop. So you really would need to see that flag to confirm that at least there's an impulse to the upside. Hope that helps you. Link will go up. Okay, I think you're asking a question because you put a question mark afterward, right? So you want to know if Link will go up. Eventually, they all go up because they're all in an up move. But let's see where Link is right now. Yes, I think Link is upside. I'm looking at the bigger picture of this one. See that daily structure? Let me show you. See this? So you went up, you make a correction, went up, correction, went up, correction, went up. This is a bigger correction. This should go up. We're expecting that to go up. Where to? Well, let's say, for example, this is the down move. You got 1, 2, 3. So you made a big flag and then you made a low here. This is the low. And we're going up. Well, we don't know how high this is going to go. That's the question, because if you take all of this, right, this piece, if you take it as a flat of its own, then this could go back quite a lot. But if you're taking this as part of a possible running flat with this one, then we might not go very far before you come back down. But an impulse to the upside is very likely coming. So you come into the 4-hour and you look for a buy setup here, right? You wait for the setups. If you get the setups, you get the trade. If you don't get the setups, then don't force the trade to go, right? You need this to go up, make a flag, which I think it's doing right now. You see this one went up, it dropped. This went up, it dropped. This went up, it dropped. This one, it can drop. Wait for it to confirm that there's a set buy here and then go with the trade. So once it gives us the buy setup, another impulse is there, and then you can say, okay, great, now it's time for it to go. So wait for the flag. It will make a flag. They always do, right? What was the question? Oh, the chance of Bitcoin to go up. Oh, yeah. So if you're talking about Bitcoin going up and then coming back down, that is a possibility. But again, wait for the flag for the confirmation, right? Oh, you're thinking whether this can go up, make a top there, and then come back here? Yeah, it could be a bigger consolidation. But without a flag, I wouldn't do that, because this could simply drop on it and end the whole structure, right? This could come here, and then we would look at all of this as a 1, 2, 3, and go back up. So I would still wait for the flag to confirm that it's actually going up, right? Because the sharp move doesn't mean anything. It means, I mean, you get very sharp moves and then you reverse all of it. Good job. So let's see if it works. Okay, what else? What other trade? Keep your eyes on the gold. I really like this gold, and I think gold could drop quite a lot. So you don't want to miss the trade if it starts dropping. All right, let's see what Pong is doing for those who are still in the trade. It's still okay. You don't have to worry. It's 1, 2, 3. My traders, if it pulls back here, close the trade, take profit, put an entry under the low. So if you did that already, you did excellent. If you didn't, when it comes back here, if it's not breaking the low, if it's not breaking out of this, close it, take profit, put an entry under the low. We're still downside, but this could stay here for a long time or even go back up. You don't want that to happen. right? So this has to go down and drop right now. If this doesn't drop, take it off. We have a flag on the pound Swiss 50 minutes. Okay, let's go do that. Take a look at that. You guys post what trade setups we have, right? So, okay, yeah, I like this flag. Let's go with this for a buy, but with the expectation that it might be a running flat. I don't think it is a running flat, but we'll keep that expectation open, right? So we'll put it like this, put a buy setup here. And let's keep this open. I think this could be a flat of its own. I don't think it necessarily would be, but keep that open. So when it gets there, we get it to break even, right? If it comes back all the way to the top, better for us. But make sure you keep that open for break even. Gold 15 minutes running flat. Let's see. I'm on the 15 minutes. I just see a regular flat. So this is the expansion in between. And I'm looking at this as a 1, 2, 3. And this just go break the top and then drop. It could get more complex than that. I tend to agree with you that it could get more complex than that. But for now, that is the pattern I'm looking at. So it's a sell setup. It could break the top. It could not break the top. If we get a better entry, we'll take the entry. But right now, that's a good sell setup. Let's see where it goes. Okay, what other trade setups you guys have? Just tell me what trade setups you're looking at and we'll go. So hope to see all of you tomorrow. Don't forget to share, invite more traders. Right? The more, the better. The more questions we have, the more you can learn something. ETH again, sure. Let's go back to ETH. Okay, this one is going up on the 15. This is a 15 minutes, so don't chase it. It broke the low, so it can go up. So if you're looking at this as a possible flat here, right? We did break the low already. We do have divergence. Let's see on the 60 we have divergence. Yeah, we have 60-minute divergence. So if this wants to go up now, you see the bigger trend is still upside. If it wants to go up, this could be a buy setup from here to go up there, right? So wait for a 1 hour flag. The 15 minutes is gone already. Wait for a 1 hour. So let this give you a 1 hour confirmation here and then go for the trade. Because 15 minutes is way too small. We're still in this down impulse. This could stop and drop from here. And that would be just a small flag. So let it go up some more. Let it make a 1 hour flag. Take this flag for the upside. Worst case is you're going to get break even. I think I answered your link question already, my friend. We just did it. You asked a question, I just showed you the pattern and tell you we're ready for it, right? Wait for a flag before you go. Are you in the buy in the trade already? That's why you wanted to go so urgently? No, if there was high momentum, okay, here's where you're wrong about high momentum. If there was high momentum, you wouldn't get this. You follow what I'm saying, right? If buy orders were coming in really, really strong, this thing would be doing that. It wouldn't be doing this. So you wait for the flag would confirm that there might be an impulse. And if there is an impulse, it could go, because this doesn't stand right now here. Could actually drop again and then go. Now, where would you put a stop? You normally put a stop here, right? Unless you're trading this without a stop. If you're trading it without a stop, which means you're trading it like currencies, right? You're not using any stop, then you can literally buy it right now. You don't have to worry about it. Let's say you're just converting dollars in the link with no leverage and no stop, then you can buy it right now. There's no problem with that. You wouldn't really mind how low it go after that, right? Basically, who cares? It still is going to go back up. So you can actually buy it if you're doing that and stay with it, right? But if you're trading with leverage and you're trading with the broker money and all of that, you need to use a stop to limit the loss, and you need to make sure that you want to get in when there's confirmation on the trade. I hope that helps. Any other questions? Let's go. So Remember, thank you for the amazing webinar. Remember to share, remember to watch the video. And by the way, you guys should help watch those videos and share them, right? Because those videos are not getting enough likes, enough views as they should have. I mean, I literally see some videos with millions of views that couldn't have been worse if you're a trader to look at something like that. But they were mostly fun videos rather than trading videos. Knowledge is not fun. Knowledge is important, but it's not fun that much, right? So let's go. Any other setup, anything else you guys want to ask? Any questions? We can do that before we close. Hope to see all of you tomorrow. Don't forget to share the videos, share the link. Make sure people come and, you can all bring a trader who needs help. And let's do this. Let's make it happen. And I hope to see all of you tomorrow. Stay safe, trade with care. See you tomorrow. Final, any questions? I mean, you don't go in webinar where the host is asking you to ask questions and you're refusing. Most times I get kicked out of, when I was learning, I get kicked out of webinars for asking questions. So most times I actually get thrown out of the webinar for asking questions, right? Because my questions made sense and they didn't like to answer them. It's not actually hard the way we do it. And here's the thing. Who says trading is supposed to be easy? The people who tell you that trading is easy and whatever you're learning is easy are the people who want you to lose your account. Because I literally saw a guy jumping out of a plane or a helicopter, I don't know what was it, with a team of people filming here, telling you that all you need to do is learn this thing for 15 minutes, learn his strategy for 15 minutes, and you'll make a ton of money and you'll be a millionaire like he is. And I'm looking at the video and I'm thinking to myself, if I owned a helicopter, you guys would never see me. I guarantee you that the minute I can afford to buy an helicopter, where an helicopter is a toy that I can afford to buy and I don't need, you're never going to see me here. I'm gone. I'm not coming back to you guys to tell you about how you should trade. Sorry, but if I get that rich, I'm gone. Right? I don't need to do that, right? I don't need to be even helping you guys. The reason I'm here is I'm a trader, a real retail trader who is not that rich as yet, hope to get that there one day. So when somebody is doing that nonsense, what he's telling you is that you're going to lose your money. And most times he gets paid to tell you that nonsense. He get paid big money to tell that nonsense. How much referral he's making to which broker or whatever nonsense they're doing. He's not trading live and he's not doing anything that makes sense to you. He is not there to help you. He is there to get you to sign up for a broker or to sign up for some account or some nonsense. Normally, he's not even selling you a course because he has no course to sell, because he wasn't selling a course. He was just saying, if you do this for 15 minutes and you sign up here, we'll get you to, whatever. I don't know what the hell is the whole purpose of it, but it doesn't make sense and it's never going to work. Right? Now, does wave analysis difficult? Yes, but if you learn it, it becomes pretty easy. Look how I'm doing it. Does it look difficult when I'm doing it? Well, you can do what I do. You can get as good as I am, right? Dow Jones is a buy setup. Let's see. We use the US 30 for that, I think. Let's go back to the US 30. Yep, it's a buy setup. We're still using, it's still a buy setup here. It is still a flag, so it's still a buy setup. That has not changed. Now, you got to be careful with this buy setup, right? It's a flag where you can see the flag, right? It might not go very far because I don't like when they're making flags inside of flags. Normally, that doesn't go very far. So trade with care, manage your account with caution, manage your trades properly, and you're going to be okay. Now, do you need knowledge to trade? Absolutely. You can't trade if you don't have the necessary knowledge that is going to give you an edge in the market. Anybody who tells you otherwise is telling you BS. Anybody who tells you all you need to do is learn this strategy, you don't understand the concept, you don't understand anything. You're just going to put a strategy on and it's going to work. Like, if you think about it, it doesn't work. It's like everybody said, if you learn to press these 3 buttons, you can fly a plane. Go ahead, see if that is going to work for you. Right? That's what they're saying, that if you learn this strategy for 15 minutes, you're going to be successful. I wish it was that easy. I truly wish it was that easy, because then I would be super rich. I'm a pretty smart guy. If it was that easy, I'll be extremely, extremely rich. And I'm not saying that to boast. I'm saying that as a fact, right? I think I'm a smart person. I think all of you guys are really smart. So if it was that easy, Good. You would all be millionaires. You wouldn't be here with me. Right? You'd be billionaires by now. I don't know what the billionaires would be if it was that easy, because they have access to really smart people and really smart, strategies and really smart everything, right? So they would be trillionaires, and we will still be poor as billionaires. So it's not that easy, guys. Don't allow yourself to be caught up in that, in simplicity. Simplicity is not how the world works. When it looks too simple, it is too simple. It's not going to work. So put a little effort in and you'll learn it. It's not that difficult. It's the only thing that gives you an edge in the market, that you can actually see structure, like the euro this morning. Take the euro this morning, and that's a good example. The guy said, I'm in this. I'm saying, like, okay, don't panic, but don't put your stop here, right? Because if you put your stop here, the probability is that this is going to go back up there, take you out, and then come. And this is your break even. What I said went to him. And I came in back again and I told him, close the trade. If you haven't closed the trade, close the trade, because this has a chance of going back up. We put the entry here now. This is a flag, it drop. If it's not a flag, it break the top. And I said, if it breaks the top, this entry is still good. We'll trade the last impulse down. This is still downside, but it needed to make one pullback like this. Go back and watch this morning webinar. It needed to make a pullback like that, go back, retest the top, and now we're going to look for the sell setup. Only then we're looking for the sell setup. Now, why do patterns behave like this? Because the market behaves in specific ways. The people who are trading it do the same thing over and over. They're not really making a pattern. They're just doing the same thing over and over. And if you miss this trade tomorrow, I'll put penalty on all of you who missed the trade. Now, can this be a flat? I think somebody was asking, making a running flat. I would say running flat. I would say regular flat because we didn't break it up. Can this be a regular flat that goes back up there and come? It's possible, but it's still downside. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your stop here. Now, you're not trading for this to come 10 pips here. You're trading for it to drop like crazy. And if it drops like crazy, that's your trade. If it doesn't drop like crazy, then you have to manage the trade. Right? You have to manage it. So put the entry order in there and let's go. Right? By the way, I'm not making a trade call for anybody. Don't go call me and say I took your trade and it didn't go well. Right? Because you also have to know how to manage the trade. I know how to manage it, right? So this, even if you get tagged in it, it'll take you a few hours before you decide what to do with the trade. Right? If it goes back up from here, you don't have to worry about it. But if it drops through and tag you, it'll still take you about 2-3 hours before you decide whether to close it or not. So if you do take a trade, if you're not sure how to manage a trade like that, don't take it. Wait until tomorrow. We'll show you what we're going to do. So everyone, trade with care. Thank you for coming. Have a great evening. Have fun. Stay safe. Stay alive. Yeah, I know that sounds really weird this time, but there's so many crazy things going on in the world. So you stay safe, stay alive, and see all of you tomorrow. Bring a friend over, but only if he's a trader and he aspires to be a trader, serious trader. Invite them and let's have fun. Take care. Thanks for coming by.